Hi guys, this is Lori with Ellen's Crafty Creations, and I'm here to share my November craftology box project with you. This is for countrycraftcreations.com, and this is Tamara's monthly kit, and it turned out super cute. I did a 5.5 by 7.5 mini album, and I used a ribbon closure here, and I just punched eyelets in my album covers to create the ribbon. On the cover, I really wanted to capture this image right here, and so I've taken some Wink of Stella and some stickles, and I've highlighted the berries and the leaves and everything and made it shine. Here I've used I got the chipboard elements in my kit and it's an add-on item, and the chipboard elements in this collection were really worth it. I used almost every single piece in my album and it turned out really cute. On the spine, I did my suede that I've done this before, and I actually bought this at like Hobby Lobby or something, and I love this because I buy it in 12 by 12 sheets. It's just like not suede, like velvet, and it really goes a long way since you just use. I think this piece I cut at like 7.25 by 4.5, and that's the only, that's all I needed for this. The spine turned out really cute. And then there is the back. I love the plaid paper. Whoops, not in frame. So on the inside, and my ribbon closure was super simple. You can see that I just tied knots because it was an afterthought, because I realized that it was getting pretty full, because I wanted to keep my spine small, but I also embellished quite a bit and added lots of things in here. So again, I've hit this with my Wink of Stella. It doesn't really translate very well on camera, but it's glittery. I did my little bookmark here. I added the button that came in our kit with some of the ribbon, and I didn't add the journaling lines yet, but I do plan to do that. And then I have two photo mats in this pocket. This one's just a plain 4.5 by 6.5. This one is the same size, but I just punched holes on two sides and added that cute ribbon just to give it a little something extra. Those fit nicely down in there. All of the pages are the same, and on 2 pages I did this acetate window, and I wish that I had done it on all of them because I really liked how it turned out. I didn't cover the frame in pattern paper because I liked the black, but I'll show you how to do that in the tutorial. So this is a pocket, and inside the pocket, inside every pocket, I have a little booklet. This is a chipboard element, and for all of my chipboard elements, I just peeled some of those layers away so that they're flat, because I didn't want heavy embellishments or thick embellishments on my book. And this was a cut apart from the collection, so it's just empty for your photos. I wanted to add photos to this book, but I didn't get them printed in time. So maybe I'll come back and show you this book again with photos in it. So this is a magnetic flap and it flips open. So you have a nice space for a photo here, another chipboard element here, and then a little pocket that holds the 3x4 cutouts. And you can put a photo on the back of that or just journal on it. So that closes up. This opens up. Again, a 4x6 will fit here. I have another chipboard here. This page, I really loved this image, and I knew that if you place your photo on top, it's going to cover it. So I just cut into it, and I just started like right here and cut all around here, and I stopped about right here, and it's got Wink of Stella all over it as well, and this just tucks right in there. So I thought that turned out cute. I have photo mats in every pocket, and I used, I've told y'all about this before, but my favorite punch to do tabs is this Real Estate punch by EK Success, and I just punch half of it and do my tabs on both sides. And then you flip it over and there's a stacked pocket here. So again, chipboard element, there's a cut apart, and these are 4.25 by 4.25. This was a card that came in the collection, and I should have covered it in paper, but I didn't do that yet. And then you have a larger pocket down here at the back, and both of these will hold 4x6 photos. And that's just a photo mat. So I have two chipboard pieces here. Again, this was just a solid pocket and the booklet. And it opens up, and it's blank. They're all blank on the inside, so I guess I'll stop showing you those. And then it opens. Right here, I didn't add a magnet to this page because I forgot. So I didn't do my little pocket on this one because I was afraid that it wouldn't close right since there's no magnet. So I just left this one plain. So that was a mistake. There's a little chipboard pine cone mistletoe piece right there. And then it flips open. You have two nice spaces for photos there. Again, another mat in the pocket. And I only put paper on one side of those. And flip it over. Again, there's your 4x4 cut apart. And these pockets will hold more than what I have in them. And then another photo mat in the back pocket. Chipboard Santa, my acetate pocket again. There is the cut apart on top of that booklet that's empty on this inside. And I tried to coordinate all the paper. So I used the snowflakes here on the inside, and then that on here as well, and then the stripes just like I used them right here. So on this side I have a chipboard element, again a 3x4 cut apart, and I just showed you that paper. Here is the photo mat. Super cute collection. This is, we got different stickers in our kit, but mine had this truck on it, so I mounted it on cardstock and fussy cut it out. Here I have two photo mats, a small one and a large, blank on the back for photos. And then I have just a plain one again, tucked in the back. That's a full-size photo mat, 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So good size photos in this one. Here I have again, I've just layered some chipboard elements, another booklet, and then on the inside, just a nice space here, a chipboard element, and then a 3x4 cut apart. The cut aparts in this collection were so cute, and I was so happy that I was able to use some of them. This snowflake paper here, and then there's that photo mat. Sometimes I can't use the photo mats because, not the photo mats, the cut aparts, because I need all of the paper to cover the album, because Simple Stories usually includes so many cut aparts, but I was able to use a lot of them in this one because it's small. Two chipboard elements here, and then two cut aparts. This one I cut a little bit small, so it should be 4x4, but it's a little bit smaller. And then I have the plain mat up here. And in the pocket on this side, I decided this was a cut apart, and I just thought it would be perfect to cut around this entire thing and make a shaker element out of it. So that's what I've done here. I thought that turned out really cute. And it's just a booklet for photos is all it is. And then I have another one of these bookmarks here. And that's it. Really simple, super cute album that would be great for a gift, because as you can see, you can really fit a lot in it. And it just turned out really cute. And it's only one page style, so it's really easy. So we're going to go ahead and go through the tutorial right now. And let's see. I'm gonna show you how to do the acetate window, but that's not yet. I'm gonna do the base page first. So I've got my favorite art glitter glue. And where's my base page? This one and this one. So you're going to need 4 pieces cut at 5 by 7 and not scored at all. And then you're going to need 4 pieces also cut to 8 inches by 5 inches. Now this is if you want to do 4 pages is what I'm going by, but I'm only going to show you how to do the page once since they're all the same. So we're going to stick this on here just like we always do. I'm going to fold on our score lines and burnish. And we're just going to add this on top of the 5 by 7 piece to create our base page. And I'm not going to take a whole lot of care with this one because this is just scrap paper that I've cut for this album for the purpose of the video. So there's our base page. Now we're going to add the large flap first, which is 5 inches by 7 inches. Score on the 5-inch side at 1/2 inch. Fold on your score line and burnish. And then miter your corners here. We're going to add our glue on the inside. And I'm going to stick it inside the base page, glue side up. Oops, get it lined up, but don't go over the score line, and stick it down. Let's add our smaller flap next. This one is cut to 4 inches by 7 inches and score on the 4-inch side at 1/2 inch. Would help if I would stay in frame, huh? Having a hard time with that today. Probably because I'm not zoomed out as much as I normally am. So fold on your score line and burnish. Add your glue, again on the inside, and tuck this on the inside of this flap here. Just make sure that everything lines up and it's even. Okay, then let's go ahead and add our pocket here. So this little pocket is 4.5 inches by 3 inches. Score on the 4.5 inch side at 1/2 inch on each end, and then on the 3-inch side at 1/2 inch. Miter the corners, and then fold on your score lines and burnish. Add your glue, and this actually fits the page exactly. Whoops! Getting glue everywhere. You just stick it down there right at the bottom. It's just a teeny tiny pocket. Just big enough to hold those 3x4 cut-aparts that I love. Alright, now, before we do the pocket that goes on here with the acetate window, let's do that last. Flip this over, and I'll do the stacked pockets with you next. So for the stacked pockets, you're going to cut 4 of these at, let's see, 6 inches by 3.5 inches. You're going to score on the 3.5 inch side at 1/2 inch, and then on the 6-inch side at 1/2 inch on each end. Miter your corners. Fold on your score lines and burnish. And then add your glue. Again, I'm not going to take too much care in this because this is just a sample. that should fit evenly on the page just perfectly. Burnish it well. And then take your next piece. This one is cut to 4 inches by 6 inches. Score on the 6-inch side at 1/2 inch on each end, and then on the 4-inch side at 1 inch. So let me see if I can get you to see this better to explain this process. If you've done my tutorials before, you know how these are done. But so you can see the lines here, there's a lot of glare. What I want you to do is take this piece and cut at an angle right here, right up to the score line. Just like that. And then cut at an angle right there at that one. Just like that. So this is the piece you should have left. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. Cut it at an angle, right up to where the score lines meet, flip it, and then cut it at an angle again, right up to the score lines. So it looks like this. So you're going to fold on these score lines and burnish, and you're going to leave this one hanging down. Add your glue on the outside, and tuck this large 1-inch piece into the pocket and stick it down. That'll give you your stacked pocket that goes all the way down, so you can put large photo mats in both. Pockets. Whoops. And see, I messed up. There it goes. Got to make sure it goes all the way down. You shouldn't see, you can see mine because I put a pencil line there, but you really shouldn't see that score line once you get it in. There's our 2 pockets. Now flip this back over and let's talk about this acetate pocket. So for the pocket, you're going to take one at 3.5 inches by 8 inches. Score on the 3.5 inch side at 1/2 inch, and then on the 8 inch side at 1/2 inch on each end. Go ahead and miter your corners. And what we're going to do, I'm going to plug up my glue for a second here. I don't want it to get stopped up. Is I'm going to take my little mat here. And if it's easier, let's see, what's the easiest thing to do? I want you to be able to see what I'm doing here. So I wonder if I should take, hold on guys. Whoops. Many of you have already seen me do this before, so it's not new. But if you're new to this and not quite sure, I want you to be able, and this is going to be terrible because I didn't do it even at all. So what I'm doing here, you don't have to do this. I am just doing this so you can see what I'm doing, because it's hard on this paper to see where I have my score lines. So this way you can see how I'm measuring. So all I'm going to do, so I'm going to take my ruler, and I would normally use a pencil, but I'm just going to use this pen, and I'm lining up my ruler with this score line right here, and I'm lining it up and going over that score line 1/2 inch. So I'm measuring out from that score line 1/2 inch and drawing a line. I'm going to do that all the way around, measuring out from the score line 1/2 inch. Now on the edge, I'll just measure out from the edge since there's no score line on this side. And then again right here. Okay? So now I'm going to cut out this box. And I like to use my razor blade. I'm just going to put my ruler right up against there so that way I get an even cut, because sometimes I freehand it and I end up messing it up. Pretty good at that. You should get a nice cut all the way through to the bottom, and do that all the way around. And this doesn't give you much of an acetate window, but it's just enough so you can see what's in the pocket. And I use the decorative acetate, and I've mentioned it several times before, that I get it from, the paper pad from We Are Memory Keepers. Or not paper pad, it's an acetate, a pad of acetate. Decorative acetate from We Are Memory Keepers. And I love it. But in this video, I'm just going to use the plain. So I've already cut my piece of acetate, and this you're going to cut at 2 3/4 by 6 3/4, and I've already added score tape all the way around. So I'm going to remove the tape backing from here, and I'm just going to line it up, making sure that there's no tape overhanging. Get it as even as you can, stick it down, and then burnish. Okay, now there is your acetate window. So take your piece, fold on your score lines, and burnish. Now you can cut a frame of paper to fit around this if you want. A lot of times I like to use glitter around this, so I add my score tape around here and glitter it. That always turns out cute as well. However you would like for it to look. I liked the way the black showed on my other one, so I just left it that way. I started cutting a frame for it and I just didn't like the way it looked, so I left it alone. And the only reason why I made this pocket face out this way instead of the other way is because you're going to lift this flap up so it'll be easy to get out whatever you've got in the pocket. And plus, if I would have flipped it over, the photo mat would have been hanging out too much. I didn't like that. So there you go. Here's the page. Your acetate pocket, pocket on the inside, and then it opens up, flip it over, and then you have double stacked pockets. Super easy album to create in a snap. So let me see what other measurements I can provide you. As always, all the measurements you need for everything is listed in the description box down below, so check that out. I always write out my measurements for you guys. The booklets that I made, I cut them at 8.5 by 6 1/4, and I scored on the 8.5 inch side at 4 1/4. What else? The spine was 2 inches, so you'll need, for your chipboard, you'll need one at 2 by 7.5 inches, and then you'll need 2 pieces cut at 7.5 by 5.5 inches, and you should be able to get that out of one piece of chipboard, so that's nice. Let's see. Your binding measurements are down below. And then I've also put the measurements for the inside pockets, these down below. And what else would you ask me for? These mats right here are 4 5/8 by 6 3/4. That's what I chose to do for mine. And that's all I know to give you. It's a really easy album to put together and super quick, and it makes a great gift. So Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.